Moon gang, what's going on? Welcome back. I guess this is Dumb Money episode 4, if we're now just arbitrarily keeping count now. Hey, we come back on. We're seeing a little bit of green in AMC. I like that. IWM trying to push. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a great lunch. Honestly, the midday session, boring. Snooze fest. Just kind of slowly drifting sideways, slowly drifting down. Really not much going on. AMC currently at 42.14. GME currently at 186.25. If we do a quick Ortex check, Ortex, AMC, they've borrowed 4.38 million, returned 7 million for a net borrow return of 2.75 million shares, a short interest of 14.21%. With GameStop, well, pretty much net neutral, a short interest of 14.34%. So that's kind of how we are. GameStop, not much going on. Another sizable return on AMC, which does that actually make much sense? Let's check really quick. It could. What was kind of the volume we were seeing here? That one, possible, questionable. Like, obviously we had a green day 2 days ago. Some of these spikes, 11 million, 14 million, it could fit in there. Maybe some of the weaker shorts, the newer shorts that like are now underwater, quickly covering, that is a possible explanation of what's going on. I don't think it's like the most far out thing, but overall, thus far for today, like if we're looking at those numbers, I guess kind of possible, but really quiet day. And I just want to bring your attention to what I'm seeing here. Not that much different than what we saw in some of this similar price action back here late May, early June. Some like run up, but some like a red day, kind of a hammer day right here on June 1st. Kind of what we're seeing. Not exactly the same. Well, obviously, you're never going to have exactly the same in the stock market, but overall, like we try to run up, we didn't hold the run up, but also they're not pushing it down either. So it depends on how you're looking at it. Obviously, in our camp, we're going to be focusing on a lot of positives, and then the bear camp's going to be like, well, like we stopped the run up. So kind of more of a neutral day, not bullish, not bearish. But I would say the edge goes to the bulls or the apes just because we're consolidating above 42. We have support from 40 to 42. We're consolidating a lot of the volume trading above it. So that makes me happy, at least in my personal position. GME, kind of similar, holding out above 185. We have support from 180 to 185. So similarities between the two, obviously at different prices, but similar movement. I would say a similar charting outlook of how we would look at all of that. But right now, a couple things to talk about. First of all, just so you know, similar to this morning, obviously it's just this stream today is sponsored by ButcherBox. They are the attendee sponsor of Ape Nation. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. If you sign up, it's free lobster tails and ribeyes. Myself, I had some ribeyes last night. They were absolutely phenomenal. So it's a food delivery service, quality meat. Recommend checking it out. I'll do that full pitch in a bit, but just so you know, that's what's going on with ButcherBox, and shout out to ButcherBox for sponsoring today's streams. What are your thoughts on the exchange called Pocket Options? I have never heard of that, so really no built out thoughts on it. Now that you've forced me to live without you, I realize how much more I appreciate you, Mart, and how much more work I actually accomplish at. What's going on, Cynthia? Hey, Matt, Neurometrics, a pump and dump, asked because I'm trying to learn the market. So it wasn't really a short play, but I think they had news. They had some sort of fundamental announcement, I believe, that pumped it up. So it depends on how good it is. Like if the company is fundamentally changed, it might stay at the new value, but it's not like a short thing. I'm not playing Neuro in any way. I know it's been a hot runner of the day. Why do people call me Mark? I don't know. I guess they like it. It's fun. Side question, why are you not streaming the whole market open anymore? The whole market open. Well, I stream the market open. I stream 9 to 11. It's been 9 to 11:30 though, and then I'm doing 2 to 4. A couple reasons. It's just the midday. Not much has been happening in midday, so it helps me like recharge. I hang out with the people in the Discord. I can finally get some lunch, and it allows me to prepare for the afternoon session just so I can not only have more energy, but come up with a game plan of like researching anything that's going on in the day so I could present like real-time information to you instead of me saying, oh, hang on. Like I'll look into that tonight and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So it just gives me a chance to kind of like, first of all, take a breather, get some lunch, but really kind of come up with a game plan of if I can answer any of the major questions of the day or come up with a more of like an educational bit. Like for example, yesterday, if you watch that video, we went all about credit spreads. We went into them so people feel a little bit more comfortable. Today, we're going to go about what a short naked put is, explaining it to people and like how it can or can't be used. So it allows it to be, instead of me all day just running out of energy and not being able to like dive into things, that midday session, I don't know. It's just something I'm giving it a test drive for a week just to see if it allows for just me to not only help you guys out, but just for better overall content creation. It's a test drive. I'm going for a week, just seeing how much you like it, seeing how much I like it. That's it, because really there's not, to my knowledge, no one else out there that's actually streaming all day. So it's just like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to play this entire game. There's not really much of a blueprint. All right. Up to date there. Mark Kohrs, shout out. All right. IWM trying to make a move as we head into, we're about 50 minutes away from power hour, trying to make some moves there. Honestly, have been on Matt Kohrs live stream withdrawal. Not gonna lie, I'm sorry. Like I know a lot of us got used to it. It's just, it's very tough to sustain that Monday to Friday, a 7-hour stream, followed by an update video, and then followed by doing all the other business stuff in the background, talking to lawyers, talking to accountants, doing my own research, my own charting. It's just that it is one of those points that like it just was physically and mentally draining. And I'm not saying I'm not going to return to it, but right now it's just like I realized that I was hitting a physical and mental wall. So instead of getting completely burnt out, I just wanted to add a little bit of longevity to like what's going on. And I like it. I like being able to eat lunch. I like having like these higher energy levels, and because most of the moves are in the morning and at night. So it's just like that midday session is usually quiet. So it works out well. I would take a break because I could feel your exhaustion. Now I'll take a long position on Matty Boy. What's going on? I appreciate that. Shout out. I'm craving a Baconator. A Baconator. Shout out to sir. This is a Wendy's. How do we want to do this here? Let's get some liquid in us. Some bubbly water that hurts my throat. Overly painful. All right, so AMC right now at 41.60. Very much, let's see if we could get this double bottom bounce off 41.50. Hit that earlier today. Actually hit 41 right when we opened up, but love for it to recapture 42. Just watching that region of resistance and or support depending on where we are between 40 and 42. Firewater. No, this is just whatever, I don't know, sparkling water. I don't know who came up with sparkling water. They're like, hey, we should take this water thing and make it more painful for our consumers. The marketing department was like, it's so crazy, it might just work. All right, what is IWM doing? It was moving and then getting hit. Same with S&P 500. It's trying to make a move. Where are we? 210. Let's see how it gears up for power hour. We might have one of these things where like as we get later to the day, things gear up, they start knocking, and then we get potentially a power hour run. Patience. Time will tell. GME hanging out at 185. All right. Hang on. Let's stand up for the teaching session of this. All right. We need a good Matt rant. Well, if it naturally comes about, maybe we'll get one. All right. Alrighty. Actually, we don't even need this. We do not need that. AMC, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? All right, let's get into that. All right, so let's do a quick, this one a little bit easier, not as much to go over. Please, if there's any questions on credit spreads, what we talked about yesterday, let me know. If this is your first time hearing about these credit spreads, short credit spreads, as in you're selling a spread, it also referred to as a credit spread. It's what I covered at like the start of yesterday's afternoon stream. So if you look at Dumb Money episode 2, go to the start of that if you want to learn more about credit spreads. If you watched it or if you've rewatched it and you have some questions, let me know. More than happy to answer. But to start this off, let's talk about short naked puts. Remember, when you hear short, you shouldn't necessarily hear like shorting a stock, like the way we're talking about, like, oh, people shorting AMC. When you hear short, you should think of selling. It means short means you're creating a position by selling. Long means you're creating a position by buying. So when you're shorting a stock, you're creating it by selling a stock. In options, like a short credit spread means you're creating a position by selling a spread, or a short naked put means that you're creating a position by selling a naked put. So a naked put, little bit dangerous, different. This has nothing to do with like naked shorting. I know it right there. It says short and naked, but remember this is about options. In general, I mean, obviously I know naked as just a word has in our normal language, we all know what naked means. But in the options world, in the stock world, really in the financial world, it means it's naked as in you don't have the underlying thing. So a naked call, like if you're selling a naked call, that means that you don't have the underlying stock. That's a naked call, because a covered call, naked, covered means you have the underlying stock. A naked put would mean that you're selling a put and you don't necessarily have the underlying capital. And selling a covered put means that you do have the underlying capital. So it's just, short is the exact opposite of long, selling and buying to create a position. Naked and covered just means naked, you don't have the underlying thing, whether it's the capital or the stock, and covered means you have that capital or you have the stock. So in this case, shorting a naked put means that you're just selling puts. It means you're selling a put. This is actually a bullish bet, as in you're hoping for it to stay above the strike price. Buying a call is bullish and selling a put is bullish. Buying a put is bearish and selling a call is bearish. So it kind of is inverse there. So anyway, buying a call, selling a put, both bullish bets. Buying a call, you want it to go up. Selling a put, you want it to stay above the strike price. So for example, right here, this is live on Tiblio, TIBLIO. It's in the description of the video. 30-day money back guarantee, and you get a discount if you use the link in the description. But anyway, this is our options picker service. So here, AMC is on the list. What is this actually saying? So we're in the short naked put, as in you're selling a put. Selling a put is a bullish bet. And here it's telling you the strike price, or sorry, excuse me, the expiration date. Expiration date is when the contract ends. So it is saying that there's some sort of statistical advantage for selling an AMC put at $35, as in there's some sort of statistical advantage to AMC staying above $35 all the way up to and including July 30th. Remember, this is actually a bullish bet, hence why we're saying, oh, we think it's going to stay above 35. This, I guess, signal came out when it was trading at 42.37. Your percent of profitability, your chance of making money on the play, not necessarily your max return, but just making money on it, 80%, your estimated credit. This is what you would get for selling the put, $1.50. Hence why your max return is 150. Whenever you see this, you just multiply it by 100. And your max loss in this case, because it is a naked put, would be $3,351. So It tells you your max return, it tells you your max loss, and you could size that up. Do you like it? It's all up to you. Do you like the potential risk? Do you like the potential reward? But this is how you interpret a naked put. Selling naked puts, when you short a naked put, that is bullish. When you go long on a, well, you really can't go long on a naked put because you'd have to be able to buy it. But going long on a put in general is a bearish bet because you're hoping it comes down. So this overall, it's bullish. It involves you selling a put, and you just, the way you get your maximum amount of money, the way you win on this trade is if you get all the way until the expiration date, on the day of expiration, you're above that strike price. So for AMC on July 30th, you would want to be above 35. On August 6th for BlackBerry here, you would want to be above 950. For ChargePoint, you'd want to be above 23 for July 30th. So you could do it. I mean, you could get really close ones for July 30th. You can get far out ones. Right now, it's showing some for late August. But overall, when you're selling a put to create the position, you want to be above the strike price. And if you're above it when it expires, you get the full premium that you sold it for. So right now, that's what this estimated credit is. That's the premium you receive for selling it. Let's look at the highest ones. So, actually, this is interesting. Here's the highest one right now that Tiblio is suggesting is selling an AMC put for August 27th to stay above $35. And if you hit that, you'll get $546 for each one that you sold. So basically, if you think that AMC is going to be above 35 on August 27th, if you like that bet, and you are willing to put up some money for it, you can potentially get $546. But this is all about selling a put. So that's a quick rundown there. Like, not as much to go into as we did with the credit spreads yesterday, but I'm just trying to clarify like what this is, what this isn't. But overall, that is shorting, aka selling a naked put. All right, and as we did that, IWM took a bit of a hit. Bit of a hit on IWM. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Obviously, let me know if there's any questions on that. Would love to clarify. All right, we gonna get this bounce? Or are we gonna get this bounce into close? The golden question. When bounce? My wife always tells me I'm short when I'm naked. Matt, when you went to lunch, you left the mic on and we heard you yell, "Mom, what's for lunch? Better not be grilled cheese again." What's going on, Rags? You missed a good opportunity to rant about people demanding you go on a rant. Tried making my own bull flags without you and had a stroke. Makes perfect sense, brother. I'm up 500% because of you. I enjoy watching you every day. Keep up the good work, brother, and God bless. Shout out, Mr. Sanchez. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Shout out, shout out, shout out. All right. What are you doing, IWM? Let's go to the 3 minute, the 3 minute, and the 3 minute. All right, there we go. I very much want AMC to recapture 42. That's a region we've identified between 40 and 42. So closing above it is just additional strength. We saw it close above it yesterday. It'd be nice to do it 2 days back to back. Nice to do it 2 days back to back. Back-to-back champs. Can I sell a call option at any time without having the problem to buy 100 shares before the expiration date? That would be a naked call, and it depends on if your brokerage allows that, but probably not. You would probably have to have the underlying shares to be able to sell a call. Did you have gas station sushi or a butcher box lunch? No commercial. For lunch today, I actually had some other meal thing, not butcher box, not gas station sushi. Not feeling that adventurous today. Ma, what for lunch? Come on, let's turn this around. Ooh, Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing, IWM? What are you doing, IWM? AMC trying to pull a U-turn right now, 41.39. What else do we have? All right, let's see Ortex really quick. Ortex, AMC, net return of 2.75 million shares, short interest of 14.21%. GameStop, net neutral, short interest of 14.39%. Here's how we are on the daily. Rejected right at this resistance, exactly where it found support on June 4th. And then let's go over to GameStop. Kind of rejected where it was in this mess in July 8th, July 9th, July 12th, July 8th, 9th, and 12th. In this region, kind of rejected right here. All right, what else do we have? Any news to go over? Democrats seek tougher hedge fund regulation after Robinhood, Archegos debacles. AMC Entertainment option alert, July 30th, 57 calls, sweep above ask, 270. Interesting. So someone coming in aggressively getting the July 30th 57s. Why AMC CEO Adam Aron earned the loyalty of the apes. Announced Wednesday morning, appointed blah, blah, blah. We know that. Andrew Sarkin, come on. Agree that he thinks Aron has done a terrific job given the hand that he's been dealt. However, he posed the question on whether or not the success of AMC stock should be attributed to Aron. I mean, I think he did well. Just so you guys know, Adam Aron, it was announced this morning that he is the CEO, the president, and the chairman of AMC. He wears all three of those crowns now. Philip Lader as lead director. All right, so it's a quiet day across the board. Like nothing too insane or nuts going on, honestly. Oops, I wanted that signals. There we go. Filters. All right, let's get the information for AMC and GME. All right, AMC. Were there any other unusual options plays? Let's look at the big size. Total trade. 5.5 million. A call for, what's this, September 17th, 55,000. Someone threw down big money, 5.5 million for 58. That was for, hang on, let's see the other 58s. The other 58s, you know, this was a lone trade. Someone went, it looks like someone bought this. It wasn't like they were undoing a position because for the 58 days till expiration, there's no other 50. So it's not like they got in and got out and day traded it. They just loaded up on this 5.5 million, 5,000 of these 50s for September 17th. That was at 9:56 this morning. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. What else do we have? $5 million. More of this weird action for December. We've been seeing a continuation of this weird stuff in December, January. Some August ones. What else do we have? Okay, yeah, I mean, the main one to talk about is right here. The $50 strike for September 17th, 5.5 mil. And it was not, it may not have been undoing a previous trade, but it definitely was not today. Someone loaded up on this big this morning, and I don't think they would have been intentionally unloading it because at 9:56, 9:56. Where were we in the day? Right before 10. I mean, we were still running from there. I think people got excited and just saw this pumping. Interesting. Let's see how that one plays out. Let's keep that in mind. AMC currently at 41. We're in that region of support between 40 and 42. Let's see how this all really comes together. IWM trying to spin it back around. SPY trying to spin it back around. The overall market's having a bit of a weird day, a strange day. Is it possible that every spike we've been seeing is hedgies covering bit by bit, so it won't be a huge margin call? I mean, it's theoretically possible, but incredibly unlikely because there's still a lot of people buying to create a position. Will AMC release a new share count at the shareholder meeting on the 29th? No, the shareholder meeting for that happened in early June. That's the one that relates to the one for the 29th. Love you, Mappin and Ape, since your Andre Zick collab. Why is there a max loss if you sell a put? I thought losses could be infinite with a put. If you sell a put, no, because you're agreeing to, I guess, buy that stock from them at that price. That's why it's capped. In lieu of Ape Fest, we should meet at our local AMCs, renting theaters out for the Suicide Squad across the U.S. Selling them out would be huge. Scott, that's a good idea. Carol becoming an astronaut. Shout out, Carol. What is the logistical difference between buying a call and selling a put? Like, which is better for what scenario, if that makes sense? So if you sell a put, you get the max profit if it just stays above the strike price. If you buy a call, you want it to run more and more and more. So you're selling a put is less risky. And because of that, also your profit is capped. While buying a call is more risky, but your profits are uncapped because the stock can just keep running. Good questions. Check out Neuro, got in at $9. Yeah, I saw people talking about Neuro. Let me bring it up over here. I believe there was an announcement. Like, this is not a short play or anything like that. They had a big announcement. It went from what, 3 to 38. My recommendation with that is do not get greedy. So why is it skyrocketing? The company announced that its Quell device has received breakthrough designation from the FDA for treating the symptoms of fibromyalgia in adults. So it's a biopharma play. It's running because of a fundamental announcement, a fundamental driver, FDA approval for apparently some device that helps with fibromyalgia. So that's what's going on. I'm telling you, do not get greedy. Have a trading plan. What is your profit target? Make sure you have a defined profit target. Make sure, like, what is your plan? Like, are you using a trailing stop? Do you have a hard stop? Do you have a profit target? Are you, like, you have to have a plan. You can't just be like, you can't be there with your fingers crossed and be like, oh, I hope it keeps running. You have to have some sort of instituted plan. AMC 40, 77, 79 dollar at a time. Let's see if it can recapture 41. SPY trying to bounce, the S&P 500, IWM trying to bounce as well off of 221.25. Getting, I would very much like for it to recapture 222. Very much like. All right. All right. All right. So we went under the neuro thing. If you're not already in neuro, please understand that the news is already, like, the public knows about the news. Like, you shouldn't see neuro's action today and be like, oh, this is a good chance for me to get in. No, because, like, you don't know if there's another driver. What spiked it now was because of the announcement. It's like, if they come out with another announcement, that might help you out. But it's, the news has already been, I guess, consumed by the public. So I don't know if I would personally be like, oh, I think this could continue even more. I think they would need a new piece of news. That's my assumption. Hence why I'm not just going to buy neuro. Hey Matt, weird with different streams, but I'm glad you're doing what you do for the community. Appreciate your hope your day's amazing. Hey, I appreciate that. Shout out. Thank you for that support. Very, very kind. All right, let's see if we get some sort of, like someone said, a pivot into power hour. Let's do this thing. SPY, hard bounce off of support. Look at literally to the cent. 62, literally to the cent. Really a cup and handle. S&P 500 setting up with a cup and handle. Let's see how it reacts to 434. Cup, handle, higher low. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hope that this run helps with IWM. Hope IWM run helps with AMC. And just the overall excitement in all three of them, I hope, helps with GME. The way AMC is now in its region of support between 40 and 42, so is GameStop. GameStop's is between 180 and 185. Let me mark these out for everyone. 185. 180 right there. So both are in their region of support, looking for some buyers to step in. Hey, what's going on, Tom Nash? Hope everything's going well. All right. How is the RSI on these guys? They have to be oversold, right? Oh, definitely oversold. Definitely. Yeah, both AMC and GME are oversold. Interesting. SPY coming back with some vengeance, about to break. I wonder if it's going to rip from here. Hopefully it causes some enthusiasm in IWM. Matt, what do you think about Elon wearing an ape during his Bitcoin Doge interview? I didn't see that if he did it, but interesting. I mean, he's into it though. Like he likes playing that troll character. I want to see this. The Bitcoin Elon. Is this making Twitter news? Are people paying attention to this? Oh, he had like the evolution thing of going on, but it was for Doge, I believe. So it was just more showing the evolution of currency at large. I think that's what his shirt was about. I don't know if that was necessarily a nod to AMC GME. I guess one of his quotes from that, Elon Musk said, "I might pump, but I don't dump." He says, laughing. So that was in reference to Bitcoin. Ugh. I don't know if our financial regulators are going to be too happy with that one. I might pump, but I don't dump. Interesting. Oh, Elon. What will he do next? All right. So the handle part of our cup and handle on the S&P 500 just got smacked for the third time at 434. Let's see if it can like regain some momentum and break from there. GME, AMC, both severely oversold on the 3-minute chart. We are looking for the bounce. The bounce. Let's see if some buyers will end up stepping in. I notice there's less fun with the 2-hour break. Could be true, but I just mentally and physically needed it. So I like it. And like I said, it's going to happen for the rest of the week, and then I'll reevaluate over the weekend. But it's kind of nice because it lets me set up and actually research. I mean, thus far for the past 6 months, all of my research has taken place like outside of normal market hours. Like I stream all day, I do an update video, and then I research for the next day. So sometimes I'm 12 to 24 hours behind. While this way, whatever happens in the morning, I could research it in the like in midday, and then I could present it. So it's just a little bit of a different structure. Instead of just like a rambling stream of 7 hours, I get to ramble, study, and then ramble in a bit more of a cohesive manner. What are going to do when GME finally does have an announcement? Rut-row, can't wait. What's going on, Angie? Matt, please add some rockets and magnets. Oh, definitely can do. Is that what we've been missing out on today? Just not enough rocket action, not enough magnet action. We got to spin this thing around. All right, let's get the old rocket. Let's get the rocket on GME. Oops. There we go. Rockets obviously have to go upwards, as we learned from both Richard Branson and Bezos lately. This is the way rockets go. All right. And then for AMC, let's give it the old whirl with a giant magnet. The old giant magnet attempt. Let's see if they can beat that type of superior charting. Not enough Tesla losses. What's going on, Will? One of these days, we'll get back to it. Spencer G, you just said ETFs are the issue. What do you mean? I'm curious what you mean with that. ETFs are the issue. The issue to what? Thoughts on Chem Bio? I heard we will keep raising tomorrow, but what I've learned, don't chase. Chem Bio. What's its ticker? Because I'm not seeing anything about a company. Chem Bio. I'm not seeing anything about Chem Bio. Man, the S&P 500 coming back so strong. I really think it has a whole nother dollar in it pretty easily. 435. Bullish on it. Turnaround Tuesday. Seasonality. People apparently don't care about inflation. People apparently don't care about the potential of a Delta variant. We're just euphoria. People are buying. Looks like S&P 500 might be gearing up for some sort of a push in power hour. We're about 20 minutes out from a power hour. We do have a cup and handle in the overall stock market. And this is important. The reason why I'm even talking about the SPY is because the SPY, it can have an impact on IWM, and we know IWM can definitely have an impact on AMC. And then three of them together, if there's a lot of buying, you do see something similar in GME. So this is why you have to watch them all in unison. They don't live in a vacuum. There are external headwinds and tailwinds. It doesn't mean it has to, but CMEI, what is it? CMEI? CEMI? Chem Bio Diagnostics. Oh, I mean, obviously do what you want, but this is a horrific looking chart, and it feels super chasey. I mean, all the stock was doing was downtrending, and they must have had some sort of announcement, but I'm not going to chase. I mean, you don't want to be the person who's late to the party. It's at resistance right now. There has additional. I would look at it this way of like, yeah, it could keep going, but the risk to reward setup, the way I trade, it's just not worth it. If you're in it, I wish you the best of luck. But to me, when I'm trading, I like to take the layup trades, and this seems like a very it's such an ugly chart. Such an ugly chart. Good example of a gap fill, though. Here's a giant gap. Actually, it didn't even complete the gap fill. It has two gaps that are still this gap right here from June of last year, and then right after that. So we have an up gap and a down gap. Interesting. Two gaps that still need to be filled, but I have no idea about it. I'm assuming this is some sort of Yeah, health technology, some sort of biopharma play. It gapped up, must have had a successful test, FDA approval, something along those lines. But the market is already digesting it. It's the news. Like, people have already made the trades before the news. They benefited off the news. It could keep going, but I've seen too many times where we have things like this and then it absolutely craters. So I'm just personally not willing to take that risk. All right, the SPY is looking hungry. Beautiful bounce off of 40.11, and AMC coming back up to this region right here at 42, trying to get back. Two closes above 42 is strong. Like, every time we're closing above 42, we know 40 to 42 is resistance. Above it, it acts as support. So we want to continue to close above 42, because that means the more we do it, the more volume we trade above it, the market at large is accepting AMC being above that. That is good for us. Ba, ba, ba. All right, let's get right above 42. IWM would love to see it above 222. But SPY's looking hungry. It's just, will the demand outweigh the supply? But it looks like the SPY is attempting to push. And we see GME bending back around 182.50 all the way up to 184. GME, like I said, 40.11, now pushing 41.60, making a run to 42. Specifically 42.25, 42.30, somewhere in that region, if we're trying to get a little bit more specific. But overall, kind of a quiet day. Like, we had a huge run over day, and the fact that it's neutral and just not getting smacked, I actually give the edge to the bulls, to the apes. And my reasoning for that is just the fact that the market is accepting these prices. The fact we're not getting smacked down, like, they're not giving back the gains. We're just kind of holding right now. And after a 25% gain yesterday on AMC, a 10% gain on GME, that's pretty good. There we go. The breakout on the SPY. I mean, it's just following through on this cup and handle. Cup, handle, the old duck and bill pattern, the old Dutch tulip following through. I think it could actually push straight up to 435. Another, 85 cents on that? Ooh, there we go. Look at this. GME getting above 185, its region of resistance, and AMC not far behind, trying to push above 42. There we go. Come on. We want to see a green across the board, a green, green, green power hour. Matt, how can Abe stop hedgies borrowing shares? What can we do? It would take a lot of money, but theoretically, if everyone else borrows shares and just doesn't short, that's one thing. But it's big, big money. In general, retail is sizable, but retail in general of, like, just day-to-day buying, this isn't specific to AMC and GME, it's still big money, big banks, big institutions that are moving the overall market. That's retail can account for sizable amounts of money. It is sizable, but it's just, there's so much money in these big banks and that type of stuff. So, like, if retail came up with the money to borrow all of the shares from the brokers, yeah, that's one thing. But I mean, I think one of the best things we can do as a community to battle this is to continually point out things that look a little bit questionable, a little bit nefarious, a little bit potentially illegal, and trying to get a governing body to look into it. Like, it's one of those things that we can't just sit here as a community and scream manipulation. You can't do that, because, like, if a governing body decides to listen to us, they're going to be like, okay, they're just saying manipulation. What do they mean? We need to call out very, very specific things. Like, you have to be detailed and we have to be organized. And right now, I think that's one thing that this particular community is kind of missing, is at large, a lot of people are screaming for manipulation. You know what's better than that? Okay, a little bit more detailed to say naked shorting. Do you know what's even better than that, though? Is calling to their attention the amount of FTDs in late June and early July. That's a very specific thing that we can call attention to. We have the data, and it's something that they can actually look into. So Manipulation at its highest is it's just too generic. Naked shorting a little bit better, but okay, like naked shorting of what stock? How do you think they're pulling it off? It's still like middle level. What's very, very concise is take a look at the failure to delivers in late June, early July, AMC. Why are they so consistent and why are there so many? Remember, with this, if you want change, you have to be very specific about the change you actually want. That's my own opinion. Obviously, I can't speak for you, but that's how I would envision getting something to actually change for the better, is us being highly organized and highly specific of what we want to see and why we want to see it. That's my opinion. Obviously, I don't speak for you. This is my thoughts on like how I think the community could benefit, but I'm obviously all ears. Like if you have a better way to articulate it, or maybe you have more experience with this type of stuff, I'm like, hey, I think we could do it this way, and this way. But I think the community being a little bit too general and high level, I don't know who would really listen to us at that point. 526 to 528 candles look very similar to 719, 721. Let's take a look at that. So you're saying on AMC, I assume 526 to 528, 526 right here to 528. So these three look very, yeah, I would agree with that. Like this run we have right here kind of looks like in here. Now, obviously not perfect. It's not like a doppelganger or anything, but the general sentiment of it seems like a push upward where the momentum's not necessarily being squashed. I could get behind that. I could definitely get behind that. You or Trey need to set up a GoFundMe for Wes. I don't know about that. That doesn't seem like something I would personally like. It was too divisive to the community, and my goal is not to divide the community. My goal is to the best of my ability, explain to the community what's going on. I'm not here to push a confirmation bias, and I'm not here to like accept FUD. I'm here to try to keep everyone on the same page of realism. I know sometimes that pisses people off. Some people they're like, hey, I want to be positive. I want to be fed this confirmation bias. And I'm not going to do that. I know everyone in the community, obviously we want to disprove FUD. That's easy. I don't think I need to especially like hark on that. But for me, I'm trying to teach a little bit about what I think trading is. Trading is a page of realism. I'm not here to hawk hope. I'm here to tell you what has helped make me a successful trader. I'm here to explain terminology, short interest, utilization, shares on loan, some of the specifics of what a threshold list is, what's going on. Like across the board, this world is new to a lot of people, and I'm just trying to help people feel more welcome and feel more confident in what's actually going on. Rather than just like here, like slamming my fist, being like, hey, it's manipulation, it should be high. Like that doesn't really get anywhere. That's not something that you can like actively use to improve your own financial situation. What else can we do if we can see the FTDs? You know, the SEC can. Why aren't they forcing them to settle the FTDs? Well, they are. That's what the whole threshold list thing is. To my understanding, on the 13th consecutive day, there's no more leeway at that point. It's you have to settle some of them, and it dropped off the threshold list on the 12th day. But just in general, the market should not be functioning in a manner in which there's so many, like a meaningful size of consecutive FTDs day over day. Why was there a chunk just not being fixed or solved for? Like what's going on? And remember, all naked shorts are an FTD, but not all FTDs are a naked short. FTDs are more of a general umbrella term, and naked shorting is a very specific type of FTD. There are various types of FTDs. So we can't sit here unless you are working at the DTCC or the NSCC or the SEC or FINRA. We can't sit here and be like, hey, all of these are naked shorts. We can say, hey, we think because of various things we're seeing in price action that we think a high amount of them are, but like to be definitively 100% sure, you would have to work at one of those governing bodies or a clearinghouse or something like that. But in my personal opinion, I would say a meaningful proportionate size of those FTDs are naked shorts. And my personal reasoning for that is just some of the wonky price action we've seen. But that's also a theory. That is when I throw on my tinfoil hat and try to make sure that like I'm making it explicitly clear to all of you that I don't have the data in front of me to back that up. Most of the things I'm saying, I like to have the data source and be like, this is what it says, and this is what it means, at least the way I interpret it. And that's very different from the times that I'm going on to my own theories, where it's more of like, we might have secondhand evidence or a strong gut feeling or intuition based on things that we're seeing in the chart, but not necessarily backed by like a hardcore report or something along those lines. Why AMC on the left? Basically just because I'm a madman, you know? It's just, I am just crazy like that. I mean, some people, they do whatever. They quit their job, they leave the country, they go on binges. You know me, my crazy thing, the thing that really gives me an outlet when I need to blow off steam, is putting GameStop on the right and AMC on the left. Like, it's just, sometimes you're going to meet people in your life that are just unhinged crazy. And this is one of those people. Like I at a whim this morning decided to switch up the charts. So just that crazy. Here you go, Matt. Have a nice coffee on me. I don't like them. Then got a hot one on me. All right. I'm a fan of both. I appreciate that. Is AMC forming a cup and handle? Not really. Maybe like kind of a baby one. I mean, it would meet my definition. Not the most picture perfect cup and handle, but I see you're pushing kind of this cup and then a handle to 42. It's close enough. I'd give you those points. Hey, Matt, did you ever check out Charlie's vids on YouTube, DD, on AMC and GME? You said you would about a week and a half ago. You probs forgot. I saw some. To be honest, he's had some things right. He's had some things wrong. I'll give it to him. He can do very good DD. So I'm not here to say like at large that he's all right or all wrong like any of us. He's right on some things, wrong on some other things. But overall, I like he does do good research and evidence, but I'm not going to sit here and be like everything he does is amazing. But I would say that about myself. I'm not going to say everything I put out is perfectly right. There's been a lot of times where I've had to retract, be like, hey, I stated something in my update video wrong, and like I'm correcting myself in these streams. But overall, like I think he's a good, I guess, quote unquote detective, like looking into some good stuff. But overall, for me, I mean, when you get into this side of YouTube, you end up consuming a lot less YouTube. So in terms of AMC, honestly, I don't really I mean, not even AMC or GME, just like YouTube at large. My consumption of YouTube over the past 6 months has severely fallen. It's just there's not enough time in the day. Maybe have Wes to explain pros and cons of a lawsuit concurrent to waiting for the squeeze. Ape's just scared, in my opinion. I mean, for it, it's just too tense of a subject for me to touch. I mean, I don't know if if anyone's been living under a rock here. The drama last week within the community, the AMC GME community exploded, and it was just absolutely filled. There was like a lot of gasoline, and in my opinion, the Reddit just absolutely was throwing matches onto it, and then it blew up across like all social media. So for me, I don't want the community to be divided. I don't want to be pushing anything that could be divisive. If someone else out there like wants to take the reins on that and they think that's like what we finally need for the community, have at it. And I hope it plays out in the way you want. But it's just not going to be, I guess, an effort that I'm being the lead on. How bad would another shutdown be for us and AMC? Um, I'm assuming you're talking about like a Rona related thing. That would be kind of interesting. because right now that would be a fundamental thing if people are just not seeing in movies. But we also know, all of us, that AMC is trading outside of fundamentals. And if we already know it's trading out of fundamentals, like, would it really have an impact? I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing out my own theories and that stuff, but fundamentally that would hurt AMC. But we all know that we're in AMC for a short squeeze play, not a fundamental long-term investment. So I don't know if it would really have an impact. It depends on how hard it's hit by news sources and mainstream media. It depends how like overtly negative they are, like how much they want to like attack it. But with any of that, it's fear mongering. Like, people in media, like, it's fear and greed that's a big driver of like, okay, like they try to scare, they try to fear monger. So the market at large, I would be worried about, because like of how much they're going to try to prompt that fear. Someone just said shorts can't cover if we don't sell. I mean, but remember, like, I mean, right now, I'm not saying Ape Nation is selling, but someone sold 142 million shares today and someone bought 142 million. Obviously not an individual, but at large, there was a lot of buying and a lot of selling today. This concept, I strongly believe apes and retail at large is not selling. I strongly, passionately believe that. But obviously, some big players out there on Wall Street are actively buying and selling throughout the day. That's where the 142 million comes from. 142 million buys, 142 million sells. Remember, with any buy, there's always a counterparty. If you're buying, someone is selling. If someone is selling, that means someone is buying. And that's true on lit exchanges. That's true on alternative trading systems. That's true on non-ATSs. Remember, an ATS is a dark pool. So basically, for lit exchanges, dark pools, and non-ATSs, the three main types of venues and all the venues within those subcategories, whenever there's a buyer, there's a seller. Whenever there's a seller, there's a buyer. Like, it, buyer equals there has to be a seller, and seller equals there has to be a buyer. You can't buy from nothing and you can't sell from nothing. So what I think's going on is, slowly but surely, the ape community is consuming more and more of the float. And I mean, I can't say 100% of quote unquote apes aren't selling. Like, I'm sure someone out there is like paper handed or whatever. That's like up to them. I'm not here to tell people what to do with their money, but I think we're consuming more and more of the float. But remember, retail, quote unquote apes, we're just one part of the equation. There's still big banks, there's still all sizes of hedge funds, and there's still high frequency trading, and there's still market makers. So there are other players in the game besides just retail. Love from Israel, can a squeeze happen after hours? It can start, but remember, for the squeeze, I mean, we're looking at 94 million shares on loan, and that's not even the full picture. So it would be really, really tough for them. Like, we don't trade that type of volume in extended hours trading at all. So it could start or it can end in extended hours trading, but there's no way after it, like a non-market session, like a non-main market session, there's no way that would be the entirety of a squeeze. In my opinion, a squeeze would last multiple full trading days. Hedge funds are selling shares back and forth to each other. HFT perfectly timed to bring the price down. Could be. That's definitely one theory that's possible. Hi, Matt. If we buy AMC right now, are we getting real or synthetic shares? There's no way to know, because it's not like something is designated as a real share or a synthetic share. So you could be getting both, but don't worry about that. It's not like if you find out, like, if somehow you're not going to get an email one day from the SEC and be like, oh, you have a synthetic share, you have to give it back. Sorry, like, here's your initial money. That's not how it would work. If you have a real share or a synthetic share, you still have the share and you have the right to the profit. And also you're still at risk for a potential loss. Like, you're going to get the gain and or loss, whether real or synthetic. So it doesn't really matter if you have either or. It's not like it's going to be clawed back from you. We need a old brother. About to head into Power Hour, folks. Power Hour just started. 1 hour left in the day. Let's see what type of action we can get. I want an explosion across the board and everything on the screen. Up, up, and away. Hey, Matt, we love you, but AMC flies when it's on the right. Can you try that out? Superstitions are like shamrocks and magnets, very real power. I mean, AMC was rocking this morning and AMC was on the left. So I don't know if we have enough like data on the superstitions of where it should be, because we've also had AMC on the right where it's gotten hit. We're just trying some new things out to really send the hedge funds for a whirl. We're trying to get them to chase their own tail. If GME squeezed before AMC, would that help the AMC squeeze? In my opinion, I mean, obviously that would be telling the future. I think one squeezing, regardless of which is first, would help the other. In my own opinion. AMC on all four. I like that suggestion. I like that. Just AMC, 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 AMC. Just different time frames, like the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 15, and the 30. Just like all. Hedge fund tuning in. AMC's on the left. What the hell do we do now? Like, this kid's gone unhinged. I mean, let me know in chat, how many of you actually like felt uncomfortable this morning? Like, it's probably settling in now that AMC's on the left, but at first, let me know if it was actually like jarring to you that we switched it up. I'm just trying to keep people on their toes. Matt, settle bet. If your average AMC price is 50 and you sell $10,000 worth of AMC at 45, losing money, then 30 minutes later buying AMC at 40, overall average dips to 48. Steve C, we can figure this out. Bit of math. Jarring. All right, where's my pen? So, Matt, if you have 50,000 and you sell $10,000 worth, is your average price is 50 and you sell $10. Steve C, to know the math on it, I'd have to know like the size of your initial position. And 30 minutes later, you buy 10,000 at 40. The average overall drips to 48. I mean, it depends. That 10,000 that you like in this hypothetical scenario you sold, is that half of the position? Is that all of the position? Is it a third of the position? You have to know how to like weight it properly. So you need the size of the initial position. Switch all charts with face cam. Hey, Matt, I love that you now take time for yourself each day. Trey agrees. You can't help others if you don't take care of yourself. First, shout out to my reasons for holding my sons, Mason and Dylan. Shout out to Ryan, Space Ape, the father of 2 Space Apes in training, Mason and Dylan. My brain is just trained to look at the right side. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a symbolic movement of we can't always just do what we're trained to do. We got to stay on our toes. How can I get a pic and the info on all the FTDs? You could screenshot my screen if you want. Here are the FTDs up until the end of June. Actually, do we have early July yet? I think we get it at the end of the month, but right. Failure to deliver. Right here, you could screenshot this and I'll show you like, I guess one of these spikes. So that's about 4 million where my cursor is, but this is from June 18th all the way up till June 30th. The reason there's none here is just because they haven't been reported yet. The first half of July comes out at the end of July. But anyway, you could just screenshot this 4 million on June 21st and it gives you a rough estimation of these other ones. But the market is not working properly when you have this many FTDs especially consecutively. Something is going wrong in this period for this to possibly happen. All right, AMC 41.22, looking for it to overtake 42. GME 184.25, looking for it to overtake 185. IWM back up to 222. Like I said, I am bullish on the SPY. I think its next realistic stop is all the way up at 435. Might happen today, tomorrow, or maybe at all. Maybe never. Maybe I'm just a crazy person in a duck shirt. Also a strong possibility. Okay, overall book for AMC is 50,000. Okay, Steve C. So if we're going to do this math, so you started with 50K, you sold 20% of your position. You sold 20%. And let me do, and then 30 minutes later, you bought another 10,000. So you're back up to 50,000. So that means that you own 40,000 shares at 50 and you own 10,000 shares at 40. So so that also then means, I'll just double check. I do think that you're right with your assumption. Let me just double check my own math. I don't want to somehow lead you. All right. And then we're going to divide that by 5. Yeah, you're right. Your overall average drops to 48. Steve C, you are correct. Just double checked it. I mean, it makes sense because it's just a 20% difference in your account. But yeah, you are right. Yep, double checked it, triple checked it, double, triple check. All right, Kevin, becoming an astronaut. Is today's chart a bull flag pattern? A bull flag. Not the best bull flag. Honestly, it was trying to bounce off of 42 and it was just a support line breakdown and then it caught itself at the next support. I guess it depends your time frame. Maybe it looks a little bit cleaner. It's not the best bull flag I've seen. Remember, there's a little bit of like some wiggle room in this technical analysis stuff. It's not like a set thing, but the way I would look at it, we gapped up, it bounced off of the support and it came back down. And when it reevaluated 42, there wasn't enough buying pressure and it broke through that support. And then it caught itself at the next major support, i.e. 40. And we're now bouncing off of that. Is how like I would quickly explain a recap on the day of AMC thus far. Matt, I currently have 850 shares on E-Trade and 200 in Robinhood. If payment for order flow is halting our momentum, should I transfer my shares to Fidelity? Just opened a Fidelity account. Should we all be doing that? So transferring the shares you already bought wouldn't do anything because payment for order flow happens when you initially do it. So you transferring out, the payment for order flow already happened. And in general, is payment for order flow halting our momentum? I've seen no evidence that suggests that. Yes, I've read Reddit things with no sources. I've listened to YouTube things with no sources, but I've seen nothing credible that payment for order flow is halting momentum, halting a squeeze. And I get it. This is going to piss some people off, but let's just imagine if you've never heard this before. Imagine if you came into this with no bias. This is now a popular topic on YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit, and probably other forms of social media. Those are just the 3 that come to my mind. Think about it this way. Payment for order flow, PFOF, dark pools, they were all a thing in late May, early June. The exact same time period that AMC went from 11 up to 72. So dark pools existed here, payment for order flow existed here. So if it is hurting us, which once again, I think payment for order flow is bad because it's expanding the bid-ask spread in lit markets. So it's bad for ETFs, it's bad for retirement accounts, and it's bad for pension funds. Payment for order flow, in my opinion, is bad, but it's bad for a different reason than some of these other content creators are telling you for whatever, just whatever social media. Overall, though, I know I'm making some people mad right now. I get that. But think about this. Like, just, I don't know. Hear me out for 1 second. Payment for order flow and dark pools existed in this time period. So if it does hurt us, clearly it's not so powerful that it didn't stop this move. You know what other move it didn't stop? It didn't stop this move from what? $2 up to $20. If we switch over to GameStop, it didn't stop this move from 137 up to 344. It didn't stop the move from 37 up to 350. It definitely didn't stop the move of 20 up to 483. To me, it very much just has the exact same vibe of people trying to latch onto something to explain why you're not seeing what you want to see. And I think that's a big emotional thing. It's a big psychology thing of the market. It's people trying to latch onto hope. And then I have to come in and, I guess, if you believe the internet, be like some shill dickhead ape that is like kind of raining on the parade. I'm here. This brand works for me because I'm transparent. I'm just being honest. I have not seen evidence that payment for order flow is damaging our chance at a squeeze. Some people are going to come in, and I know one of the responses is going to be, yeah, but then they could route it to a dark pool. Understand that when a market maker is paying for payment for order flow, when they're engaging in that, they don't want to give it anywhere else because that means they lose money. The reason they do payment for order flow is so they can internalize the trade themselves. And when I say internalize, it means that they want to take the other side of the trade. That's how they make money, because they think that they're better traders than us, and they think they can make a profit on taking the other side of the trade. If in the scenario that Citadel and or Virtu engages in payment for order flow and then passes the trade off to dark pool, they lose money. They don't want to do that. So in one hand, we have a camp that is talking about dark pools, and another one about how payment for order flow is the thing they like. The argument is that they're both hurting us. But you can't have those simultaneously. Payment for order flow, it stays, they want it to stay at the market maker. And the other thing is a dark pool where someone's offloading the trades and putting it in a dark pool. Inherently, they are contradictory. Like, you're not going to have a system where they're both, if one of them is damaging us, it's mainly one of them, because you need those trades to be overwhelmed. I get it. People are going to be mad, but I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not the one who created payment for order flow. I'm not the one who designed how it goes. I'm just telling you, this is what professionals are talking about and their opinion on it. Keep being who you are. That's why we follow you. Matt, payment for order flow is getting old. New topic. Did you know penguins engage? What? Nick, why? Oh, geez. Buy and hodl is our mantra, but other than that, we will stop the continued kicking of the can down the road by hedge funds. What starts it is at one point, you have to have buying pressure, overwhelming selling pressure to such a degree that we have a technical breakout. That is it. It's not. What's the other thing I hear about? For a bit, I heard about convertible bonds. That's not accurate. AMC does not have convertible bonds right now. There are some convertible bonds that AMC themselves owns, and they filed to get rid of them. Convertible bonds, not a thing. I don't even know how you would short a stock through a convertible bond. The other thing I hear about is delaying orders. Another thing that doesn't really make much sense to me. When you place a trade, almost instantaneously, you can see it on the ticker tape. You can see it being executed. We live in a T2 settlement, and I know some people are pushing this concept of T plus 35 of like, oh, they can hold your order for 35 days. What does that mean? If you hear that and you're like what? Like if some of the red flags are going off in your head and you feel like you're being pressured into, oh, I need to believe it because that's what the other apes are saying. Understand, I'm there with you because it doesn't make sense. No Wall Street professional or professional trader or anyone who's been around the market for a while would buy this concept of holding your trade for 35 days or any serious amount of time. We live in a T2 settlement world, as in the asset is literally yours. Like you have literal ownership of that asset. It's cleared within 2 days, and there's people pitching you can somehow hold it for 35 days. And that's another thing. Me saying that is going to piss people off. I get it. I'm sorry. But I'm not the one making the rules. I'm telling you the truth. Like that's just what this is. This is how the system works. If you want to be a successful trader, if you're in this because you want to trade and you want to make a stupid amount of money trading, you need to know how the system truly works. You can't live in some like la la land where like you're like, oh, like I heard this once and I'm going to make my trades and my decisions on it. If you're putting your hard-earned money at risk, you should definitely want to know what the truth of a system is. And I get it. Like I get that in a weird sense, there's some pressuring by the community for everyone to go along with any DD, like at all. If someone puts out positive DD, there's clearly a pressure for you to agree with it. I mean, I'm sure you feel it. I know I definitely feel it. And what's weird is a piece of FUD comes out and people attack it right away. They're like, it's wrong because A, B, C, D, and it gets destroyed right away. Okay. But you don't see that same thing. You don't see that type of critique on very, very positive things. And that's because right now, this is people, they attack you if you come out against it. Even if it's completely wrong, you get attacked and people are afraid to stand up against it, even because like all of a sudden, there is a difference between being anti-ape or being not an ape and also just telling the truth. And that line is getting like, I don't know, very, very grayed out. And people are forgetting that like you can want the truth and also still be an ape. So Gonzalez, yeah, for you, the transfer thing, I mean, it's already done. The payment for order flow, it's done. If we sell a call way out of the money and a call 30 days out of the money, is it considered a diagonal spread? Technically, it would be, but most spreads would be buying one and selling another at the different dates. So the fact that you're talking about two different expiration dates does make it a diagonal, but most diagonal spreads are something like buying one super far out, like a really, really deep leap, and then selling ones before that. Like usually you're buying some and selling some, not buy and sell. I mean, it's technically a diagonal spread, but that's not something that like you see too much. Are we seeing a double bottom? Very much hope so. If you're just watching this like on the smaller time frame at 3 minutes, yeah, like the low 40s. We're just in this between 40 and 42 is a very important region, and it's trying to make up its mind. Pay attention to the SPY. Like I said, it was looking good. We had the cup and handle heading into power hour. People shaking off inflation. People shaking off any fears about, I guess, this variant. And the stock market's just pushing. It's honestly not that far away from an all-time high, like a couple dollars. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Some of these questions, like the ones about holding the trade for 35 days, are from new apes who hear about it. Yeah, I get it. Because like there's a lot of it, and there's that assumption that if someone's putting something out there on social media, if it has a lot of likes, karma, views, like it seems like it's credible. And honestly, even right here, even what I say, I beg you, fact check me. Do your own DD. Please do your research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a person in a duck shirt in my basement. But You gotta fact check everyone, and that includes me. If you hear something about whatever, payment for order flow, if you're hearing something, like, it doesn't matter. Take the time after you hear it, be like, that's interesting. It sounds very good. It sounds very bad. It sounds in the middle. It's okay for you to look into it. It's okay for you to ask them their data source. A data source is not Twitter. A data source is not a Discord message. A data source is not Reddit. I don't know who needs to hear this, but there are credible, like, you can look in, the SEC has a website. There are credible sources out there, and social media is not a credible source. It could be something that, like, oh, okay, like, it made me think about something. Maybe it explained it in a way that gives you that aha moment. And you need to go the next level deeper, and you deserve it because you're putting your money at risk. Am I saying they're all like this? No. I myself have read a lot of Reddit where they summarize it and then they post the sources. I love that. That's how everyone should be doing it. I wish, like with me, if I'm referencing something on a YouTube video, I love to put it in the description of the video so people can check it out. I'm not saying that like everyone is abusing it and doing it wrong, but I'm saying some people are, but I'll give it to them. There's ones that I've seen that are absolutely amazing. They show the data source. I read the data source. I come to the same conclusion as them. And that's how it should go. We should be in the game of attempting to find the truth and not blowing smoke up each other's ass. It's serious money. It's a serious play. We are going against a very powerful, a very rich, politically motivated opponent. We can't just sit here and hold hands and think everything's good and sing kumbaya and be like, oh no, you're totally right. You're right. No one's wrong. Love, love. No, that's not how it works. Sometimes people are wrong. Sometimes people are right. I've been very, very wrong. I've been very, very right. Like it happens. That's called being a human. We're not going to be perfect across the board, but we don't have to blindly follow people just because they said something. That's not how this works. Doesn't payment for order flow include front running? It depends specifically what you mean by front running. So here's how it would work. Payment for order flow basically means that that market maker gets first dibs. If you're on a brokerage that uses payment for order flow, let me just come up with an example. If you're buying 100 shares of AMC, let's say $50 just for the ease of math, that means, like, if you put in that order, that means that market maker gets first dibs on filling it to you at $50. If they can quickly find it at $49.99 and then sell it to you, flip it to you at $50, okay, like it might do that. But it basically just means they get first dibs to fulfill your order. If you're buying, they get to sell it to you. If you're selling, they get to buy it to you. It's up to them. And that's what I'm saying is they pay for that right. And they're hoping that they're better traders where they can make a profit off of it. If they end up saying, I don't want this trade, and they offload it somewhere else, that means they just paid for nothing and they offloaded your trade somewhere else and they're not going to make money. In fact, it costs them money to offload the trade. Was that your fake IG that followed me today, Tommy's Touch? I am Matt_Kohrs. So just double check the name. It's above my head right now. Let me double check. Actually, Tommy's Touch, I'll do you one better. I'll just find your account right now and you can hear it live that I have found you. Tommy's Touch, I just followed you. So the one that followed you is me. Someone just said, Mr. Penguin, I am not a fan of payment for order flow. Same. I'm in the exact same boat as you, but I'm against it for a very different reason than a lot of this community and a lot of creators would have you believe. I think there's a lot of people, and even me, I have a lot to learn about the market. I have so much to learn about the market, and I think other people, it would do them justice if they also admitted that to themselves. I freely admit it. I get things wrong. I'm not perfect. I have a lot to learn about trading, but there's a lot of people who are trying to act as some sort of authority figure who don't know what they're saying. They like just started this and they found one thing and now they think they're an expert in it. Isn't that the, what's that called? Like the Dunn-Kruger effect, that they read one thing and now they're like apparently an expert. It's just not how it works. It's complex. I get it. There's trial and error. It takes a lot of effort to learn about this stuff. Is the T35 for FTDs based off calendar days, or does it days of market open? I would assume it's going to be market open, not just calendar days. It would probably be like days of active trading. Didn't rip because no one is buying today. What do you think changed given the parabolic arc? George W. improved fundamentals that was talked about yesterday. It didn't rip, but it held. It held a very important level. Like we're holding most of the gains. It gained 25% today and gave back 4%. So we're still net ahead in 2-day period, and we're net ahead by a noticeable amount. The fact that they're not pushing it back down tells me that the market is accepting this price. And I'm telling you, above 42 is so incredibly good. We've traded most of our volume today above 42. If we do 2 back-to-back days closing above 42, to me, that's a major win. And next time on Matt's Rants, why Honeydew is spread all over his apartment by his imaginary girlfriend. Matt, we had a great day yesterday. Great work today. Shout out Joey Face. Joey Face. Hey man, I want to reach out and just tell you I appreciate your integrity and humbleness. You are an absolute pillar of support and well of strength. Glizzy with mustard. I appreciate that. I mean, with it, whatever. The way I view it, and I was talking with my Discord about it, is in all forms of social media, if someone is pumping hope now without doing DD and researching it themselves, in the short term, that's a solution. You're going to get likes, views, comments, karma, whatever. People are going to like you. But if you continually do that, someone eventually is going to call you on your bullshit. Eventually, someone's going to realize that you are horrifically wrong, and then you lose trust. For me, it makes more sense to do it the other way, where I state what I strongly believe is true based on talking to Wall Street professionals, doing my own research, and just my own experience. And yeah, if I'm telling the truth and it's a hard pill to swallow now, yeah, okay, I'm going to get some shit. But given enough time, when the truth finally comes out, and if there's one thing I know about the truth, it eventually comes out. In the long term, it's a better way to run a brand because that's how you actually not only develop, but keep trust. It's not a game of like on a day-to-day basis, how can I make the most people happy? The game is on a day-to-day basis. How can I show the most accurate content and also just my like dumb dad jokes across the board? It's like, I want to be a little bit entertaining, but I want to get across the truth. That's the long-term formula to success in any form of content creation. Can you please explain the double helix portobello cheeseburger, half Nelson running trend line? 8-Man Dan, what's going on? I hope you're having a good one. Just jumped in. Thoughts on PFOF? What's going on? Not a hedge fund. Hey, Matt, thanks for your insight and experience. Also, happy birthday. I hope today is your best birthday ever. All right, AMC looking alive, making that run to 42. I would also love a breakout above 42.30, but we'll call it 42 for now. I may be dumb, but my money's dumber. Can you point me in the direction of someone who is right all the time? I don't understand why the Loki variant has the market in such a tizzy. The piece of the puzzle that is missing is FOMO. I'm assuming that relates to FOMO buying, just of people getting excited, hopping on a bit late, and pushing it higher. What are you doing, IWM? was looking good, and then SPY fell, and now IWM fell a bit. What you do in IWM? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I'm here to chew bananas and throw feces, and I'm all out of feces. Hey, Matt, just stopping by to wish you a happy birthday. Any big plans? No, not really. Normal, suppose it's a normal Wednesday. I'll make an update video. I'll do some charts. I'll read some information about the SEC, about payment for order flow, about dark pools. Pretty normal Wednesday. Oh, I want to watch more of Ted Lasso. I started watching Ted Lasso because I heard that a new season's coming out. So I'm watching season 1. It's on Apple TV, and I wish I was sponsored by Apple. But honestly, it's one of the best shows I've seen in a while. Ted Lasso, I believe the actor is Jason Sudeikis. If you have not seen it, it'll cheer you up. It's a good show. It's not at all what you would expect. It's kind of like a feel-good comedy, but I don't even know what to compare it to. It is that good. It's so well written. It's so well acted, and the message in it is just awesome. It's so good. So watch it. I don't care. Like, I'm not smart. Like, torrent, do whatever you need to, but check it out. It's awesome. Hey, Dumber, could you drink when Matt says naked? Thanks to the Pluto. Matt, you're making me sick of your birthday since your birthday is every day now. You must be the oldest YouTube creator. Love you, bud. What's going on, Seth? Thanks for everything. You do a really good job, blah, blah, blah. I don't care to read all of that. Okay, next comment. Rant harder for more green candles. Matt, I just want to say I love the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You have potential. Question, though. What platform is this? Oh, I mean, I guess it's dangerous, but what I now use for charting is Webull. Charting. If you want to avoid payment for order flow and you're in the US, it seems like one of the potential easiest options is Fidelity to route your orders directly. I always trust a guy that goes on random rants. I look forward to these rants. Please, for the love of God, don't stop being you. Don't even know how to be someone else, team. Can we go back to your relationship advice? I need to not only invest more in divorce lawyers, but I need to invest more in emergency rooms before I give additional relationship advice. I may be dumb, but my money's dumber. I like that. Matt, here's a tip. When you go to sleep at night with your imaginary girlfriend, call her by GM and say good night. She realizes how lucky she is. Ruben, what's going on, man? Sorry, it's just very funny saying happy birthday like every 4 days. You're brilliant, though. Shout out. I appreciate that. I mean, we do get birthday wishes every day. It's funny. I like it. Every day is an exciting celebration. Can you tell me about your ButcherBox story and how you got sponsored by them? Great work. Basically, they just like heard the rant of me and food services, and they reached out and they just said they wanted to, and they basically really like the Ape Nation, and they wanted to be the official Tendy sponsor. Honestly, this is a good time as always. Shout out to ButcherBox. Today's streaming was sponsored by ButcherBox. Just so you know, if you haven't heard of ButcherBox, it is a food delivery service, and they specialize in high quality meats. It's food delivery, and they specialize high quality, delicious, 100% grass fed, free range organic chicken, pork raised, crate free, and wild caught seafood. They source from farmers and fishermen who meet the highest standards of quality. On average, their meals are less than $6. You can cancel anytime, super flexible. You can change your plan. Free delivery, delivered right to your doorstep. So for me, I mean, honestly, to wrap it up, what is ButcherBox? They are the official Tendy sponsor of Ape Nation. Before the rocket ship takes off, they're filling the freezer, they're filling the refrigerator with high quality meats, and they want us to enjoy it on the moon. So shout out, check it out. It's pinned to the top of chat. It is also in the description of the video. For all new members, excuse me, You can see it right here. If you sign up, if you're a new member, free lobster tails and ribeyes. Last night, I had a little bit of surf and turf to celebrate AMC running 25%, GME running 10%. And honestly, I'm not even the best cook, and I was able to make this taste absolutely amazing. So someone out there that even has like a little cooking prowess, let me know how it goes. But like I said, you all just drop your email right here, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. They did sponsor this video. So shout out to ButcherBox for being the Tendy sponsor. Absolute hilarity. I'm so happy that they hopped on board. Feelings on ButcherBox selling duck meat. I don't think that they do. They have some beef, some pork, some seafood, lobster, salmon. They have a lot. I don't think they're in the world of duck stuff, though. Can I request the next rant be deprecating? Those are the best. I mean, honestly, I don't even need to come up with one. Like, I don't have to make one up. It's just my neck hurts so bad because my like physical stature and ability has gone absolutely like out the window lately. That I ran once, and at the age of 27, I ran a 5K. Like now, like I'm informing this has happened to me now, when like I don't think this is supposed to happen to you at 27. I ran a 5K and then slept on my neck weird, and now I've had 2 days of like serious neck pain. And I don't get it, because when you're like, I don't know, below 15, below 12, you could fall off a roof and you're like, oh, hey, like, what's for dinner? Like, nothing matters. And then you get on the second half of your 20s, and I'm assuming it gets worse for the remainder of your life. And like, if you look at a futon weird, you feel like scoliosis forming. So it's not even like comically deprecating. This is just like my life now, folks. I'm also a sponsor, Matt. Let's go apes. Oh, brother. Brian Hunt, shout out. Yesterday, jinxed me. I hurt my neck playing golf. Butcher box. Get your butcher box here. Shout out, Sean. Matt, real talk, listen to Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity present their sponsors. You will get a lot more sponsors. How do I invest in Matt Kohrs' channel? Wife is mad about super chat money. Need some ROI here. Gorilla Champ. If you want me to sponsor something, you can email the business email. It's in the about page of YouTube, or you could like DM me. But no, that's how like these old white dudes do sponsors. This is new. This is Duck Boy sponsorship. I'm not going to follow suit. I want my sponsors to be fun. I don't want there and just be like, oh, today's stream is brought to you by some mattress. It's a really good mattress. Buy it. I've slept on it for 10 years. All right, back to the show. No, I'm going to sponsor the things I actually like. I liked ButcherBox. They gave me some awesome ribeyes, cooked them up, didn't know what I was doing. They still were awesome. Manscaped. They've given me some cool trimmers. I got some underwear, some crispy, clean underwear from. I don't know. I want to have fun with it. Like, all of a sudden, there's like this overwhelming thing that you like can't have fun in like a job. Like, your jobs aren't supposed to be fun. Like, why not? Why not, man? Does ButcherBox own AMC? Did you hear anything about Ken Griffin stepping down from Citadel? I have not heard that. I got shares in January and been holding, but I got more along the way and sold some of the new ones. Do old shares get the tax cut off after the year? I got shares in January and been holding them, but I got more along the way and I sold some of the new ones to the old ones. Yeah, if you intentionally went out of your way, like, I don't know if you have a different brokerage or what's going on there, but if you sold the newer ones, the older ones are still there and they will have the different tax designation. But I'm not sure, like, the only way I know you would have pulled that off is if you have different brokerages. If you did it within the same brokerage, how do you know that you sold the right batch of shares would be my question. I hope to see you promoting Dead delicious meat. What's next? Waste management, cup recycling, murder. Trey Subway cup. Rachel Madcap. Here's $5 prepayment for my next rant. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Just calm down, Greg. Oh my God, back. What'd you do? I took a nap. Great news. The butchers are coming for hedge funds rug row. Oh, so I think it's more fun. Like, you guys connect with me when I share more of my personal stories. I guess I don't know how the right way to say this. If you happen to be a vegan, a vegetarian, a pescatarian, I don't care, a fruitarian, whatever you eat, this is not a personal affront on you. I got the not nicest DM from a self-described vegan, and like, it happened during break. Like, the first message was unsubscribed. Like, it was super, super dramatic. Yeah. If a vegan company wants to sponsor it and be the official Tendy sponsor for a day, I'm not against it. I'm not against, like, do I like personally being like a rabbit and eating lettuce the entire time? No, it's not my favorite thing, but I get that it's somewhat healthy. Like, I know you are crushing your own health. That is awesome. That is great for you. Congratulations. But don't be personally offended that other people eat meat. Like, it's not a personal attack upon you. So to my very, very angry vegan person in my DM box, I did not mean to offend you. My simple suggestion is just don't buy the meat. It's that, like, it truly is not a personal attack upon you. I don't mean to personally attack anybody. And if you're listening right now, and one day, today, or any previous day, or any day in the future, if you feel like, oh, Matt Kohrs is attacking me, I'm sorry. That is not my intent. My biggest suggestion is don't listen to me. Don't buy the meat. Don't buy, like, I don't know. It's not like naturalists attacked me when I came on with Manscaped and they're like, how could you possibly say we should shave hair? I'm sure one of you is going to say that now, but I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean it. They're like, hey, we would love to be attending. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. And yeah, I put a big premium on comedy. If something makes me laugh, I put a lot of value on it. Today's my favorite boyfriend, Aaron's birthday. Here's to the highest quality meat. How do you know someone is a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. It really is not like an attack, folks. It was just funny. It was funny. It's funny. It's funny. And honestly, it's good meat. Message retracted, Brian. I like the mystery. In all seriousness, Miguel, I'm very proud of you. Your first paid sponsor, aside from Super Chatters, you're officially a professional grifter. Technically second, Manscaped. Do you think the Olympics will sponsor me? Like, since they're starting, does anyone have connections to like Tokyo Olympics in general? Like, how do I talk to the big wigs there? I don't even know how I would pitch that. Listen, I'm sure you've heard of me, but I am the Matt Kohrs wearing a duck shirt talking about stocks. I sit there for most of the day and would love to talk about the Olympics. Like, do you think I could get a particular nation to sponsor me? Today's Boom Boom Candle is brought to you by Egypt. The only thing higher than the pyramids, or maybe France, the only thing higher than the Eiffel Tower is where this stock is going to go. Ryan K. Did you butcher your box with Manscaped? Don't ever feel the need to justify sponsorship. You're doing This on your own dime. That's proper, Ape. Ian, you're saying that, and tomorrow I come in. Today's stream is sponsored by Citadel Securities. Can you imagine how many hernias would be had in this community if it was sponsored by Citadel? Like, people would lose their mind. Oh man, today's sponsor is brought to you. Today's stream is brought to you by Citadel. So be careful about justifying a sponsor. Too funny. Too fun. Folks, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. They're using prime rib to hedge their shorts. Butcherbox Centennial with Wagyu, kind of Tokyo. Is Nuance dead or just extinct? Sponsored by Citadel. Oh God. Yeah. Folks, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's okay. People get so testy with jokes these days. It's just a joke. Since when? It's okay to laugh. It is okay to laugh. Wagyu, kind of Tokyo. The Boom Boom candle is brought to you by Bulgaria. When Match was a boy in Bulgaria, he did a boom boom and was instantly deported. Oh, that'd be funny. I'm just going to run through different nations sponsoring me. It'd be weird if I got some sort of like legal cease and desist from a country. Like Bulgaria emails me. They're like, please stop saying that we're sponsoring your channel. You can sponsor Citadel after the squeeze. Sponsored by Huggies. How do I get through this stream all day? Well, boy, do I have a product for you. Adult diapers. Hey, Matt, thanks for coming back. I missed your humor. This is the Matt we loved. Good job. I appreciate that. I mean, it's because of the support that I decided to come back, honestly. I mean, it sucked. Everyone, like, if we're just being honest, like, last week was not a fun week. It was not a fun week to be me, but no way in hell would I lit like weird keyboard warriors and what I love doing. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun to be like, I love this community. We're having a good time. We're learning about stocks. We're making some money. Like, it's just a good time. Don't forget the dishes tonight. Yeah, about that. I actually did forget the dishes last night. If we're all being honest, your boy did forget the dishes. Just a little bit of honesty. I was not, my completely 100% real girlfriend was not the most happy about it. All right, AMC right in this region. Interesting day. Interesting day. The fact that we're holding above 40, I mean, I would love it above 42, but we're at 41. And honestly, we still have 12 minutes. I mean, anything could happen. But after 25% run day to give back 5%, I mean, obviously we would like double green back to back. Obviously, no one's saying that that wouldn't be a better solution. But don't let media like overstate it. Like don't buy into any articles that like, oh, it was like just a quick pump and now it's like actually media will be so incredibly fickle with this. If it's a green day, they're going to be overly bullish. If it's a red day, they're going to be bearish. Like, they're just going to be fickle. My dad had a heart attack and died laughing at jokes. How could you be so insensitive? I'm offended that you support jokes. Unsubscribe. Read me with laughter, since I can't find your OnlyFans, so I'm paying you today because the only way I can see you while you're talking about me. Oh, these jokes. Tell her how lucky she is. She'll forget the dishes. This video is sponsored by Hulk Hogan. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Did someone? No way. Hang on. Let me see if this is real. I just got a message from Vegan Cuts. It says we'll be in contact soon. Vegan Cuts. Hey, let's do it. Hey Matt, fully manscaped 8 here, filling the icebox with ButcherBox. Please keep me up on the ape friendly sponsors. Shout out to Lady Apes. The Internet Citadel watching all day. What did they say today? They said they were sponsored for the stream. They what? Just got contract from Citadel. Don't sign, just post. If you want to learn about the set the Thanksgiving turkey on fire, underscores to take the place of the spaces. Chef Boy Arkell. Shout out Gorilla Champ. For just $2 a month, you could save a griffin. Corey. Veganism is not about health. It's about animal suffering. Maybe check out a good vegan restaurant. Not expecting you to become a vegan, just hoping to change your mind that vegan food is boring. I'm really, I guess I'm on thin ice. I'm not trying to, sorry. I thought it was for health. I understand now looking back on it, how it's more about animal suffering. My apologies. I feel like no matter what I'm saying, probably someone's going to be mad about it. So maybe I should just like put my foot in my mouth and leave it there. I respect what you're doing. I have eaten vegan food. It's good. I know it can be good. I liked ButcherBox because I thought it was funny. Thank you for the correction. You had a chance to make this quality YouTube channel and then you went and butchered it. Joe Wolf. Oh, these comments are hilarious. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we going to bounce into close? 3:52, so we have about 7 minutes left. 4:34. All right, let's do this. Let's bounce. Engage the bounce. Engage the bounce. You butchered it. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Cosmic, what's going on, man? But when I look at an Apex account, there's a bunch of tags or trailers for buying each security. Anyway, you can track the trailer code at far right. That's on my phone. May or not know this question. I'll have to pull that up on a bigger screen later to read that. Cheek swatted content to make sure we have undies to ride to the moon. The matching undies this month happen to be lobster. Coincidence? We'll bring on like an official underwear sponsor. Today's buns are supported by whoever. Plants provide valuable oxygen. Don't support plant suffering. Eat meat. You're making my broccoli cry. I missed out on all the vegan talk, but man, I butchered that. There's some barcoding going on AMC. Sean Harrigan becoming a space ape. Shout out, shout out. All right, AMC 4054, GME 185.12, IWM 22168. SPY bouncing off of 433.60 once again. IWM bouncing off of 221.50, holding strong, 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 strong. Strongity, strong, strong, strong. We can attempt to make a late day run at 6969 if you guys want. The likes were at 4-2. My suggestion for anyone, if you want to play this fun game, is basically stopping at 6,500. If you want, you have to stop hard at 6.5 because it runs over way too quickly. There is a delay in my video when I'm saying it, and when you finally hear it, there's about a 10-second delay. My overall suggestion, if you want it, whoa, SPY. Who put steroids in SPY's ass? Look at that. It is running. Running, running, running. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Well, would you look at that? Today's street sponsored by Citadel Divorce Law Firm, making millions on Matt's relationship advice. All right. Well, would you look at that? It's running. There we go. There we go. Really pushing. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. AMC pushing 41. Man, I like this late day strength. People are trying to make some nice positions for tomorrow. All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Uncle Ronnie, that's funny. That is funny. GME kind of flattened and closed, but it is above this important region of 180 to 185. It's at 185.35. AMC, on the other hand, is halfway through its region, 40.42. I've been calling that out. It's in halfway, roughly 41. Roughly 41. Whoa. Whoa. Looks like it might push. Continue to push here, folks. Kind of crazy. Push, push, push. Let's see some green. GME trying to push 186. AMC trying to push 41. IWM in the middle, hopefully trying to push, I suppose, 222. And overall, I mean, I'm still looking at SPY running to basically 435. So we just want some bullish enthusiasm heading in, especially to tomorrow. Should help the market at large, the individual stocks within the market. What are we doing? All right, about 2 minutes left. So just so you know, if you are battling with pattern day trader, like those rules, just remember, like if you're trying to make a trade so you don't get hit, if you're making it, you only have about 2 minutes left. If you're trying to place a trade for just to have it before tomorrow's session. Diamond Black, thank you. I used to like telling dumb dad jokes, but it's pointless if he never understands them. Butcher Block, he can beat our prices, but not our meats. Chef, that's hilarious. All right, we'll do a quick Ortex check right at the end. Or here, I could do it now. All right, we have some time. It's going to take a little bit of updating. GameStop, net neutral, 14.39%. And then on AMC, a net return of 2.51 million, 14.24% short interest. The big question is, will this push? Got rejected at 434.70. Odd level for it to get smacked at. But we might have some big market on close orders right when the bell goes ding, 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 ding. All right, we are in the final minute final minute warning. Cows, farts, methane gas, go warning, butchering cows, meat to eat, save the planet. Trey's bottle of Kraken, shout out. All right, IWM pushing 222. Look at that. Look at that. Is SPY going to push back? Interesting close. Someone's pouring money into the market right at close, like the overall market. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if that's going to lead to some form of a baby gap up tomorrow. Ding, 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 folks. The casino is closed. Casino is closed. Casino is closed. Closed. Not really, but you know what I mean. According to Webull, AMC's at 40.76, GME's at 185.68. I know sometimes it takes just like a little bit for it to actually update, so it would be within a couple cents. So here is the plan. I will be doing an update video tonight, and then I'll be streaming this new schedule 9 to 11 and then 2 to 4 tomorrow. I'm going to be here. So make sure you're checking out that update video if you just want a quick rundown of what happened in the day. And then we'll be streaming tomorrow to see any of the craziness, hoping that we do have some sustained, awesome craziness without a doubt. Reminder, thank you, ButcherBox, for sponsoring the stream. The link to it is butcherbox.com/MattKohrs. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's also in the description of the video. For anyone who becomes a new member, you do get free lobster tails and ribeyes. So if that's something that interests you, check it out. If it's not interests you, okay, just wait for the next sponsorship by Manscaped or something. But overall, thank you for all this amazing support, all the likes, subscribes, memberships, signups, merch, all that stuff. Thank you so much. You guys are 100% the reason why I do this day in and day out. You mean the world to me. Thank you. So reminder, I'll be posting the update video tonight, and then I will be streaming all day tomorrow. That is the schedule moving forward. But overall, no matter where you are, have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is. I hope you have an absolutely amazing, phenomenal one. And remember, from me and Cher, best of luck in the markets.